this panel on WhatsApp business messaging. My name is Giulio Sinibaldi. I am a senior analyst at Analysys Mason, where I lead the research on consumer communication services. Today, I'm joined by Alyque Sequeira, Vice President of Product Management at Route Mobile, and Badrinath Mishra, Vice President and Chief of Business at Vestige Best Deals, for an exciting discussion about the potential of WhatsApp business messaging. Gentlemen, would you like to introduce yourselves? First, Alyque.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Giulio. Hello, everyone. My name is Alyque Sequeira. I am VP of Product Management at Route Mobile. I'm very thankful to be a part of this panel. So thank you all for allowing me this opportunity. As part of my job at Route Mobile, I oversee product management and I ensure that our products and services are relevant to the market for customers across geographies. And I'm also responsible for product marketing efforts at Route Mobile. And our mission at Route Mobile is to ensure seamless communication enablement for our customers. So thank you once again.
Thank you, Alyque. And Badrinath, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi. Thank you, Giulio. Hi, Alyque. Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to be part of MEF and this particular session. As you know, my name is Badrinath Mishra, and I take care of Vestige Best Deals business. This is a budding omni-retail business in India. So we started our operation in 2017 across India as an omni-retail company. That means we have offline stores and online channel of sales. We're a part of Vestige Group, which is a leading direct selling company in India. So, and we offer exciting products through our retail chain across grocery, fashion, accessories, electronics, appliances, mobile phones, home and kitchenware. Today, we have more than 200 stores across 22 states. And through our mobile app, we deliver across 10,000 zip codes across India. And the biggest strength that we always consider is our customers. We have 26 million plus customers in India, and out of which 3.2 million shop every month. And that's our strength. Thank you.
Thank you, Badrinath. Thank you very much. That's impressive. Thank you. And let me introduce you a little bit the session and a little bit of what WhatsApp business messaging is, and then I will open the floors to Alyque and Badrinath, who will actually tell the interesting stuff about how to deploy and how to leverage this channel. First, let me remind the audience that it is possible to ask questions in the chat, and we will keep an eye on the questions that you ask during the conversation. And as long as we go, or at the end, I will forward them to our panelists. As everyone I'm sure knows, especially after 3 days of talks about application-to-person communication, business messaging, so on and so forth, WhatsApp is the most adopted communication app in the world. It was launched in 2009, and now it is used every month by at least 2 billion people. And it is the default communication service in a large number of countries worldwide. WhatsApp is owned by Facebook Inc., which acquired the app in 2014. And now WhatsApp is part of the Facebook family of apps alongside Facebook, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, and Oculus. The combined user base of all those 4 apps plus Oculus is above 3.1 billion monthly average active users worldwide. And WhatsApp has unparalleled reach as an OTT app in many countries. And this makes it a key element of businesses' omni-channel direct-to-consumer communication strategy. Therefore, Facebook rolled out an A2P communication tool throughout 2018 that allows businesses to integrate, that businesses can integrate in the stack to basically roll out this direct-to-consumer communication channel through WhatsApp. WhatsApp business messaging was one of the first steps by Facebook to enter the application to person but also the person to application communication market. You know, these two things like P2P and P2A like are coming together and will become one thing like as long as we go forward. And it actually, Facebook considered this one of the main drivers of user monetization. And this is not just limited to WhatsApp. This will eventually encompass all the services in the Facebook family of apps. It is news of today that Facebook will soon launch a feature that will connect Facebook Messenger and Instagram direct messages, which will allow people active on Instagram to send messages and calls to friends and family on Messenger and vice versa. Zuckerberg also stated that they are rolling out an additional features for P2P communication, such as video call watching, disappearing messages, and so on and so forth. This is part of Facebook's strategy of decreasing the barriers between the different apps they acquired, and that this will affect eventually also application to person and person to application communication. And indeed, like this is like very timely, especially to have this discussion, because Badrinath and Alyque can actually tell us how we can move the first step using WhatsApp for Business, and also with the mind of having in mind that this is just probably the first step for which we can leverage these tools. And and that's why today we're lucky to have this conversation, especially about India, which is one of the probably the most interesting market in terms of person-to-person communication, OTT apps, and the evolution of the business-to-consumer interaction. So without further ado, let's ask the first question to Alyque. Alyque, can you tell us more about Root Mobile's WhatsApp business messaging solution and its role in Root Mobile's portfolio? And if you can also talk about some of the important deployments and how the business's demand for such solutions is shaped.
Yeah, sure. Let me start with an introduction to my company first. So Route Mobile was incorporated way back in 2004. Okay. And since then, we've kind of laid a superior network across the globe by working with 800 operators globally. Okay, so this network is very resilient, low latency, and it powers A2P communication from some of the top multinational companies globally. That's what we built on the A2P messaging side, right? And over the years, we kind of moved from an A2P only play to P2A, as you mentioned. And we've also kind of adopted with the times and kind of introduced richer forms of communication that are more relevant to today's audience, right? So we have platforms like WhatsApp for Business, Viber business messaging, the very recent RCS business messaging, voice, and contact center capabilities, video, and so on. All of these form a part of our CPaaS platform. Okay, so that's Root Mobile. We kind of serve customers from North America all the way to New Zealand. And, most of the top tech companies in the world use us to have a reliable service in terms of their digital communication needs. Now, when it comes to WhatsApp, we've been working with Facebook for a couple of years now, right? Facebook is also our customer, and we also are an official business solution partner for Facebook. For us, the product essentially is the API. Okay, an API is an application programming interface. That's an interface between the customer's application and our application. With this API, a brand can programmatically send a rich message that could be an image, an audio, a text file, or a location based on the use case. And he can also use our APIs to support a P2A kind of scenario, as you mentioned. So it can be a customer support or a user initiated inquiry kind of scenario. So our APIs that we offer, right? A brand can use them incorporate them as part of his service, and he can disseminate communication to his target audience anywhere in the world, anywhere where WhatsApp works. So that's most of the geographies. And you mentioned talk about some interesting use cases, right? So we have seen very interesting adoptions for WhatsApp, right? As I told you, we have customers across the world. Uh, very recently we implemented something in Sri Lanka. So you may be a traveler coming in from anywhere in the world, right? As soon as you land at the international airport, the first thing you would like to do is rent a car, okay? But you may not have international roaming capability. But most airports hook you up with a Wi-Fi hotspot. You can log in. Uh, if you visit, so we've created a conversational AI bot on WhatsApp for a rental car company in Sri Lanka. So anyone coming in can simply send their name, their email, phone number, and send their location. It's as simple as that. Send it on WhatsApp to the brand. The profile of the brand is created by Root Mobile. We've onboarded the brand. We've created an official business profile by submitting their details to Facebook and creating that agent. As soon as the user engages with the brand, right, in response, he gets a confirmation with an order booking code and an approximate delivery time and vehicle make and model number. So that's convenience, right? WhatsApp is at the heart. The WhatsApp business solution relies on customer convenience, right? We've seen other deployments where in industries, it's not just about convenience, it's also about price, right? So if a person wants to buy by using WhatsApp, right? Today's customer is not just looking at price, right? He's also looking at convenience. So the combination of convenience on WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is very popular, and price is what makes a suitable purchase. So there are a lot of brands who are working with Route Mobile to enable an official business communication channel on which they can send notification messages. This can be in the form of payment of your utility bills, and with a single click to pay, your transaction is complete, right? You have insurance companies that we work with, right? These companies send you, as soon as you update or pay for your insurance premium, right? They use our WhatsApp business API to send your cover note, your policy note. You can also chat with the insurance company to get your tax certificates, your receipts, chat with an agent, and so on and so forth, right? So these are the kind of use cases. Why WhatsApp makes the cut, right? Uh, if you see the world today, right? Everyone's social, right? People love to chat. Chat is also non-intrusive. But as soon as I'm free, if I'm doing something, as soon as I'm free, I tend to come back to WhatsApp and see what's in store, right? So I may have a query that I have raised with the brand on WhatsApp or an issue that I want resolution for. I can go back to my work, come back, and there's a response, right? So the way we support this is, uh, one, we give brands a public, open, programmable APIs that allow them to send any sort of rich medium. It could be rich media. It could be like image, text, audio, location, as I told you. But we also supplement that with the next level. So if it's a P2A use case, I can also embed a flow builder. I can put in conversational AI. So if everyone's trying to reach out to a customer support agent, right, and he has a standard list of questions, right, if I know what are the most frequently asked questions, I can have them filtered out by first passing the user's queries onto a chatbot. And if not answered, or for some reason, the bot is not able to decipher or understand the query, we can route it to a virtual agent. That's where virtual contact centers come in. So all of this is programmable, right? And all of this forms our WhatsApp ecosystem and is a part of our play in the CPaaS era.
Thank you very much, Alyque. It was super, super helpful and thorough. And also, I think that actually responds to Andrea's question in the chat that basically once the conversation is initiated, then also the consumer, the user actually replies to the instance as if we were in a chat.
Exactly.
And,
so if you look at the evolution of messaging, right? In the earlier days, when you received an A2P message, a notification from a brand on SMS, there was no way to respond to that. It was a one-way message. But modern communication apps allow bidirectional communication. So even if a brand sends you a message on WhatsApp, you can definitely respond. And you can respond, pass it on to an agent to ensure resolution is quick and a better customer experience.
Exactly. And let's hear from Badrinath, because now we have Root Mobile's assets, experience with A2P, and the availability of a new channel. And then on the other hand, we have a wide range of businesses like Vantage Best Deals that basically has 26 million customers, 3.2 shop every month, and they need actually to connect directly to them. And Badrinath, can you tell us more about what you were looking for when you engage with Root Mobile in using in implementing this channel? And you can tell us, if you want, you can tell us about more of that experience. And don't be shy in sharing also usage metrics, which we analysts will love usage metrics. Thank you.
Sure, Giulio. First we need to understand how we do our business. For us, we are a very highly, intensely engaged customer-centric business. So for us, customers are not email ID or phone numbers, they're real people. The beauty of our business is we always validate our customer. So we call it KYC. All the vital statistics about the customer is taken to register one customer formally. Okay. So once the customer provides all the vital stats about demographics and their geolocation, then you register them. Now the intensity goes to a level where even we train our customers how to shop, about the offers, about new product launches. Even it goes up to a level where customers can actually walk up to the customer care center to talk to someone for resolution. So this is like the extreme level of engagement we are trying to build with our customers. And what we have been doing so far is very traditional. As Alyque explained, the traditional business to consumer channels are one way. May it be email or SMS or in-store communication. Even we started our push notification on our mobile application a year back, but still it's like one way, right? I mean, you don't hear back from the customer, you only communicate forward. So now with Root Mobile and that the bot that Alyque was talking about, we are very hopeful. We're absolutely hopeful about it. Now we see a rare opportunity to get our customer engaged with us in a bi-directional communication. Like if we would like to send a new product to our customer through WhatsApp, and she or he responds back with some rating or feedback, then imagine the kind of rich insight that we can generate for any new launch that we are doing. For example, we are going to launch a new location in Mumbai, in India, and we're not sure about it. So can I ask my customers that, is it a right location? And Giulio, with 26 million people and out of which 3.2 million who are active every month, if I get 5% of the response, it's going to be a big data to confirm that yes, our decision is in the right direction or in the wrong direction. So we are very hopeful that WhatsApp business solution with Root Mobile is going to give us a lot of room to play here in India in confirming our business calls and engaging our customer in a vivid manner, I would say, where dialogues are happening. So, and we also would like to see a level where customer finds it like real time. If there is a query and the bot is enabled with standard answers, and the standard answers is populated, probably she or he gets that level of trust that, hey, someone is listening to me, someone is answering me. The third thing is, as I said, feedbacks, ratings, and survey, that's going to play a mammoth role in business decision making. Then it is wonderful to see how WhatsApp messaging is happening in India with that brand logo, that verified icon that might be very small to look at, but it builds a lot of trust. So that's also going to be very interesting. So that our customers look for authentic source of information. And I believe that with WhatsApp business solution, that authenticity can be taken care of. And that's a big thing. Then another thing which we have been, yeah,
because you said something very interesting. So it's not just about sales support and customer support. It's also like a way to get like a wide number of feedback from a different set of messages. For example, what you can do is like when you get, for example, feedback as like, let's say that at the end of the transaction there is a survey that is shared, for example, or do you also get some passive there are also other ways that when you don't directly ask for feedback, but then you can actually extract that from the channel? Or is it just, sorry.
Sorry, I will say we have been exploring the same with Alyque and team, that if we can run a survey and we can get feedback, they also showed us a reporting module. So Alyque can contribute further. The reporting module was so that, if we get any response, they're all getting recorded. And of course, we can extract them and derive intelligence out of it.
Yeah, so I just like to add to that. So unlike the regular P2P channel where we chat with each other, right? Where it's all about text and images and videos. The WhatsApp Business API also has additional functionality, right? In terms of smart replies, quick feedback buttons. So like Badri could run a campaign wherein he sends an image or a video teaser of an upcoming product. And he could very easily use the business API to send a smart reply button, right? And on that, people can rate it as 1, 2, or 3. You like it or you don't like it. And in terms of the analytics, so he can have a visual representation of the spread of users across geographies. So he does business in multiple markets. He can tag products, and he can see the popularity or demand by product, the feedback given by product. So it's completely scalable and completely programmable in that sense that, he can go down to the most granular element and get data as required. And yeah, there's another important point that Buddy brought out. The authentic, the verified badge on WhatsApp, right? In our experience, any user who's communicating with a brand, right? And if he sees the brand has a profile on WhatsApp, has a verified badge, and he's able to, seamlessly navigate through the offerings on WhatsApp, right? That builds a lot of confidence, and that ensures a successful sale or a buy or a successful order.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the answers, guys. And I have another question for Badri. Did you find any specific frictions when you were like during the trial phase, where basically you launched some campaigns, and because some of the discussion about WhatsApp messaging is also is WhatsApp business messaging, and is that sometimes there are some frictions when, like in the initiation of the conversations, or what was your experience in the day-to-day usage of the channel from your business perspective?
So, Giulio, I'll tell you, we are yet to implement it to all of our audience. We are at the testing phase now, but absolutely we don't see any kind of friction where, if you want to portray something and would like to have a response from our customers, it is seamless. And what Root Mobile has built it, the way Root Mobile has built it is immensely scalable. As Alyque was saying, that any kind of survey, even the quick click buttons and the hyperlinks, like if you want to reach our customer care, you don't need to remember the number. You just need to type customer care and the number can appear. It's a hyperlink. You click it and get connected to the customer care. You want to put an email, share an image, or give feedback on standard rating system. It's very easy. And at the same time, the beauty is, if I talk about my customer care, where we have around 60 lines at any given point of time, that means 60 customers simultaneously can call. And if the 61st tries to reach customer care, then she or he is waiting. But in WhatsApp Business solution, there is no limitation. Like if hundreds of them would like to connect and would like to put their query or would like to explore something, they're all welcome. So I think it's seamless, frictionless, and it's fast. The real picture is going to come very soon, but during our testing phase and the kind of demo that we have seen, I'm very hopeful that it's going to work. And one interesting point I would like to add, which the Root Mobile team has been, helping us to build, is e-invoice. Out of 3.2 million people who transact every month, 75% of them, they shop offline. So I'll tell you, they all get a physical copy of the invoice. Now I'm hoping to see if maximum number of them move to e-invoice. Imagine the kind of carbon emission we could save. So that's going to be a big thing.
No, that's for sure, and that's why I have another question for Patrick. I think, yeah, and we have one from the audience about the discoverability of the in the what about like the of Vestige Best Deals channel. Like how can you discover the channel in app, or because usually to initiate a conversation you need like an external opt-in. But do you think that at some point there will be also the option to discover it within the app, or I think there is already?
Yeah, so at this point in time, the WhatsApp Business API does not offer a directory service. So most of it has to come from external channels, be it SMS or a website opt-in or in-person or POS-based, right? But it's coming up soon. So that's in the roadmap. It's coming up soon.
That's very important also, because now that I think about it, there used to be a discovery function on Facebook Messenger that was before, I think, the A2P proposition, Facebook A2P's proposition, but now that was scrapped from Facebook Messenger. But that was a discovery function, but that was supposed to be initiated by the consumer. And now that we are just talking about Facebook, it's one of the big things that happened last year. I mean, I think few months ago, was that Facebook acquired a stake in Giulio, the Indian telecom operator, and which also, one of the questions and one of the reasons why, like Facebook acquired Giulio was to basically for the synergies between the Facebook ecosystem of apps, and GeoMart, which is a shopping app. And I would like to ask both of you, what's your opinion on that, and how that will impact the evolution of A2P communication, especially like with your WhatsApp business messaging tools, and especially to Badrinath, what do you think about it in terms of how can you leverage that, or what's your opinion, yeah, on that, especially like from the evolutionary perspective?
Yeah, I'll start first. Let's look at the Indian digital appetite, okay? In order to understand this question that you raised about Facebook acquiring a stake in Geo. So, India has over 1 billion digitally enrolled people, right? So we have a program called Aadhaar, UIDAI. It's the largest in the world. That's one. Indians are also the most socially active in the world, right? Independent research has shown that we spend upwards of 20 hours a week on social media, and I think about 70% of that is on WhatsApp. Okay, so and if you look at Geo as an operator, which started in 2016, right, as the only greenfield 4G operator in the country, they have drastically reduced the per GB price in the country. So 1 GB of data is approximately 9 cents. So here you have a country that's highly active in the digital space and data is dirt cheap. So that's the motive. Now, if you look at both the players, right? So you have WhatsApp backed by Facebook and you have Reliance Jio. Both of them each have about 400 million active users in the country, in India at this point in time, right? So you have this whole goldmine of users that are waiting to be monetized. Now, the way I look at it, a Geo can monetize the users if they can propel them to a purchase. Whereas a Facebook-owned WhatsApp can kind of monetize if they can kind of understand Indian buying consumer patterns better and probably relay that into their, their marketing engine, which is the base of all their revenues. So, if you look at the GeoMart Facebook kind of deal, this is the way I look at it, right? Now, the retail space in India approximately is $800 billion as on maybe 2020, right? It's dominated by the likes of Amazon, Facebook, Flipkart, Paytm, etc. Now, in order for the GeoMart Facebook deal to take effect and dominate the market, right, they need something substantial. So if GeoMart was to go and promote their own mobile app, that's going to take time. If you have your own app, you will burn money. You will take time to get users onto your platform. Now that Facebook has invested in your platform, right, you have access to WhatsApp. WhatsApp is most loved in the country, 400 million users, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, supports maybe 70 plus languages. So you have a medium that people use on a daily basis. They check it all through the day. If you can use your GeoMart to aggregate the customers on WhatsApp with the merchants, and when I say merchants, I'm talking about the 100 million plus farmers, micro businesses, small, medium enterprises, then you have a viable model. So in my opinion, they have a formidable entry point in terms of WhatsApp. They have superior aggregation in terms of Reliance. Reliance is also the largest retailer in the country. So logistics, warehousing, supply of groceries, essentials, whatever, name it, whatever you want to buy is all fueled by Reliance. So the partnership works together. But there is another important piece that will make this monetization happen, right? And that's payments. Now, if you look at payments, right, if you want to make a successful transaction on a social platform, you should be able to pay, right? So, in 2016, we had the demonetization of high currency notes in India, right? And since then, mobile wallets kind of took off, right? The National Payment Corporation of India launched what is known as the Unified Payment Interface. Essentially, what it does is your bank can be converted to a mobile wallet, and you can pay through it through a single authentication. That's UPI. It makes payments as simple as sending a WhatsApp message with a user consent. So here you have WhatsApp prowess, its reach across the country. You have retail uh, aggregation and supply and logistics managed by Reliance, and you have a single one-click payment system. All put together makes it absolutely formidable. And I think they are really going to change the kind of retail game in the country going forward.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. But do you have to add?
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to add to what Alyque has said. India is fairly a matured country in terms of e-commerce, right? So a decade back, Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, and Paytm, they started their journey. And they put a lot of dollars, I mean, billions of dollars to make India aware about e-commerce. So, and you see, it has become a significantly large and yet potential market globally for foreign direct investments in India. And now one biggest example is, two tycoons are shaking hand. So Facebook and Jio coming together. And as Alyque said, definitely Jio is pretty prevalent. I would say omnipresent across formats, across business segments in the country. So they bring in this rich data of geographic penetration, buying behavior, and shopping pattern of various segments. Now, Facebook comes with immensely high-end data and rich data around customer preference, their search patterns, the social quotients, how it can be communicated. And Facebook is pretty strong in terms of the advertisements. So they understand this business really well. So I see that next level of disruption happening in India, provided the Jio plays well with its hyper local strategy of aligning local sellers, because you can't deliver everything, and India has the biggest challenge. It's a big country and it has geographic challenges. So the best way is to tie up with the local seller. The moment that happens, then this entire efficiency of understanding Indian sentiments till the data point of view of buying patterns is going to create a huge disruption in India.
Thank you very much for both of your input. This is super interesting also because it shows also how A2P communication will be central to like also the consumption pattern, which is not just of digital goods, but also like it's a general consumption pattern. And just to touch on this, I have two questions from the audience. One is I think is more for Badrinath. First is that WhatsApp doesn't allow sending promotional push messages or only pre-approved and non-promotional text messages. And how does your business like react to that? Are you happy for that because you can use WhatsApp as a premium channel where you can build the relationship and then you leave the quote-unquote spam for other channels like emails or SMS? Or would you be able at some point to use it for promotional as well?
Yeah, with a business point of view, I would say, and I would really expect that WhatsApp becomes lenient on allowing us to put promotional campaigns on the platform. But no worries, we are going to start it well. And we completely respect the decision of not spamming customer without their consent. And it should always stay as a niche channel of communication, as we hope, and we really believe to see so. So what we have been thinking is how we can get customer consent and start at least with engaging them on this new channel. Let them adapt to it. Let them engage around not sale-oriented campaign, but knowledge-oriented campaigns. Things where they actually need to know about the business, not about offers or promotions, but need to know about the business. Number one. Number two, it should also serve them as a customer care center or a customer care platform where their queries are addressed, and it should also drive them through the engagement mediums that they are involved in the business and decision making. So we see these three things at the first phase, and would love to see that someday WhatsApp would allow promotional campaigns, of course with discipline, so that business is benefited.
Well, thank you very much for answering that so completely. Just because we are at in the last 5 minutes, I wanted to also ask another question. This is from Nick, another analyst, so I can see, if this is a question I would have made as well, which is how many small and micro businesses have migrated from using A2P SMS to WhatsApp businesses in India? This is probably a question more for Root Mobile for Alyque, which because it gives us like a more global picture. To that, the product proposition of of WhatsApp businesses is also it's also well designed for SMEs. However, also there is, I imagine there is a lot of traffic that is informally A2P, which is basically like people that talk with, I don't know, like the local shop just on WhatsApp. I think that is also something that we have to take into account in our forecasting. Ali, what's your view on this?
Yeah, so see, I don't have the stats in terms of how many small or micro businesses have migrated, but this is what I feel. And it's kind of related to the earlier question as well. WhatsApp is everyone's favorite communication channel. Okay. Now you wouldn't want to get up in the morning and see messages from your loved ones right at the bottom, and you have a whole set of junk on top, right? Or you have all your businesses or your, different brands communicating right on top, right? So when onboarding a customer, right, there are a lot of checks and balances that are put in place by WhatsApp, right? They scrutinize your use case, the need, and at the end of the day, it's all about the kind of value the business will add to the user if he has to send a message on WhatsApp. So there has to be a definite value that the user can perceive from this transaction. So not every micro business will come on WhatsApp. Even if you look at the Jio model, the JioMart model, JioMart will be on WhatsApp, but that's not going to bring the micro businesses onto WhatsApp. They will aggregate those businesses. So you just have one major player in that space. So you have one entity to work with, right? And in terms of impacting A2P revenues, no, I don't think so. There are a lot of time critical communication which continues to go on SMS. We have brands that take almost all communication channels from us. They still stick to SMS. In fact, SMS is growing day by day. And there are certain aspects of A2P messaging, like sending an OTP message, right? Brands still prefer to send this via SMS because SMS is the most ubiquitous. You may still have a small percentage of people not on WhatsApp. You may have a percentage of people who are roaming and don't have access to data services, but then SMS will always come through. So we are seeing an increase, in fact, in terms of A2P messaging. And there are brands who use both, but the use case on WhatsApp is entirely different. And they actually bring out the value of messaging on WhatsApp. It's more rich in that sense.
Thank you very much. That's some point, and I think that's also one of the last questions that is linked to what Alyque was saying. it's about then it's about data privacy, which is not specific, but it's like one of those questions that actually like, are around, like the usage of such private connection with consumers, right? Because also the problem is sometimes when regulation changes, then you might have a lot of processes that have to change, um, like probably like overnight. So for example, how do you prevent customer data of businesses to get used by like an intermediary like GeoMart in this case? I think that is not something that is related to with WhatsApp messaging. Is more something from uh, um, like like the layer before, which is basically GeoMart in this time, right?
So of course, see, GeoMart is an independent setup between Reliance and Facebook, right? It's between the two of them, and I'm sure that they have taken cognizance of the fact that user privacy is important. However, when it comes to deploying WhatsApp business solutions for our customers, we stick to the basics, right? It's end-to-end encrypted. Data is made available to the customer, and only to the customer. So even user data is not visible to root mobile employees as well, right? And our systems are GDPR compliant, HIPAA compliant. So we kind of user privacy, data privacy is at the heart of the business, and we've kind of been doing it for years, and we ensure we comply with local regulations in every geography.
Yeah, thank you, Alyque and Badri. I think that we are out of time because it's 4 o'clock. And thanks all for your precious insights, and good luck to both of you for your work at the frontier, actually, of A2P, A2 messaging, and business to consumer communication. And I'm sure that Badri's customers will grow significantly thanks to that. We have to wrap up, and I would like to announce also the next session, which is on business messaging and chatbots. Again, thank you all for joining, and have a good weekend, and have a good rest of the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Giulio.
Thank you, all of you.
Alyque. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Badri. Thank you, Giulio.